If it's not a him and if it's not a her, what is it? Dr. Jordan Peterson is a professor at the University of Toronto and joins me now because there's been this debate that's been simmering around there, and you're at the center of it, about politically correctness. And some people are saying, well, we don't need to be referred to by that certain pronoun, him or her. But what's the solution?
Well, the solution at the moment is mandated use of whatever pronoun someone demands to be referred to by. Now, I think when the...
Can they suggest anything?
As far as I can tell, they can. And I'm not trying to be alarmist about this, but what's happened since the legislation was introduced is that there's been an explosion in gender identity categories. And so, for example, in New York now, there are 31 protected gender identity categories. And as far as I can tell, there's nothing in the legislation that stops there from being a requirement for people to use a different pronoun for every single one of those categories. So
as a professor, and you get a class at the start of the year, does someone have to have a sign on them to say which one they are, what they prefer?
The practicalities of this are obviously one of the impediments to, one of the reasons for the legislation being improperly formulated, in my opinion. I mean, I believe that when people were first considering drafting this, they thought maybe there would be 2.1 genders, something like that, you know, so there'd be he, she, and some alternative term which we haven't settled on.
It's sort of like years ago when it was Mrs., Miss, and people said then, well, we want Ms., but there's only one Ms. So there's 3 categories. What you're telling us now is that there could be 40, there could be more.
Well, there's 58 on Facebook. And
so what is the administration of the university saying to you when you say, well, this just is unworkable?
Well, they sent me 2 letters, one of which was a warning and one which was a more serious warning, stating that the fact that I was having this discussion was probably illegal under the Ontario Human Rights Code, which is exactly what I made the video about, because I thought it probably was illegal. So I do believe that under current Ontario law, perhaps even the discussion that we're having right now is illegal. And you know, you might think that they aren't
running in here to arrest us right now. Well, we're fine for now.
Yes, we're fine for now. But the university took that seriously enough to warn me. But I also should say that on Friday I went and talked to the dean because they asked me to stop talking about it. And I went and talked to the dean and I suggested that we deal with this like civilized human beings and have a debate that the university would host on the issue, and they have agreed to do that.
So they're going to have a public debate, students and other people can attend and say, okay, what's the solution?
Well, I don't know if the public will be invited to attend, but we're going to have it broadcast on YouTube, live cast on YouTube. I think it's going to be restricted to the university community, but we are going to have a debate about it.
So it's not really just you then and the university. What is happening is that the university is saying, we have provincial law here now, which is dictating certain actions on our behalf.
Well, I think that they're very concerned about that, yes. They actually thanked me today, the Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Science, David Cameron, actually thanked me for bringing this to the attention of the university community.
Yeah, he's not a stupid man.
No, he's not, by no means.
And so, I mean, he's sensitive to it, though, but they're saying the provincial law, when was this law changed in the province?
Well, I don't know when
approximately.
It's within the last few years, but Bill C-16 is the same law at the federal level, and it just passed second reading. And so this is law in 5 provinces already and is about to become national law. And I also should point out that it makes discussion around pronoun use and around gender identity subject to the provisions of the hate speech. It's not merely, yes, it's not good. It's not good.
It sounds like Fahrenheit 451 or something.
Yes, it does.
I'm out of time, but I have a feeling that you and I are going to be chatting again because this is an ongoing problem. I look forward to that. Thanks, Professor.
All right.